Good morning, builders. Welcome back to Renaissance Worldwide. This is the Marketplace, episode 26. I am Rochelle, and if you're here right now, you're witnessing infrastructure being built brick by brick, week by week. Allow us to open with intention. We gather at this moment, conscious that time is a coordinate and space is a field, and that we are matter organized into meaning. We affirm that the intention behind every action in this space is directed toward the highest probable good for all conscious beings. Those here, those watching, those yet to arrive. We honor the full spectrum of human experience, every identity, every expression, every lineage, every struggle, every triumph. We acknowledge that we are entangled. What we build here ripples outward through networks we cannot fully map, but we are responsible for shaping. We enter this work with coherence, with clarity, and with the understanding that a world that works for everyone is not utopia, it is engineering. Let us begin. Black Renaissance Worldwide is the global infrastructure for Black economic self-determination, the underground ecosystem. We begin as a directory. The white pages meets Green Book meets Marketplace, an education platform, a living network, a community infrastructure that turns neighbors into allies and allies into builders. We evolve into a movement that acquires, holds, and builds through community land trust, union cooperatives, mutual insurance societies, and private family foundations, the financial vehicles that turn Black dollars into Black permanence. We construct the complete infrastructure of Black life, from grocery stores, hospitals, schools, and research institutions, to manufacturing of everyday essentials that stock our shelves, supply our homes, and fuel our bodies. Every new technology that emerges, we trace our hand in its origin, or we build our own alternative, because full self-determination means owning the supply chain. From the factory floor to the front door. We are little Burkina Faso. Our own everything, everywhere, for every one of us permanently. Every chapter, every board, every business, connected, self-sustained, and permanent. From boycott to buyout to build worldwide. Welcome back, flagship family. You built this chair. Now we're sitting in it together, so let's get to work. Welcome back to the Marketplace today, the village square of Black Renaissance Worldwide, where we celebrate what we are building, who is building it, and the communities that make the building worth it. I am your host again, Rochelle, and today we are coming to you a little battle tested, a lot grateful, and fully on fire. This week threw everything it had at Cincinnati, and we are still here, still building, still showing up for each other, and that is what this show has always been about. And today we lean in to that truth with everything we've got. Welcome to the Marketplace, guys. Hi, Cat29. All right, so gotta throw in a plug-in because, boo, I'm trying to get somewhere too, okay? All right, so 3 things every child needs before they turn 1 by C.J. Cricket. That's my writing name. Yeah. Is a financial head start guide for Black parents, any parents really, but I did write it for you. Written by someone who spent 10 years inside 2 of America's most powerful financial institutions, watching wealthy families quietly set their children up for life. R.J. Cricket processed the paperwork, opened the accounts, and watched the trust documents and custodial brokerage statements move through the system, and kept asking one question: why does nobody in my community know about this? This book is the answer, and here's an excerpt from my book. The typical white family in America holds about 8 times the wealth of the typical Black family. 8 times. That gap did not appear overnight, and it will not close overnight. It closes faster than most people think when the right tools get put in place at the right time, and that's at birth. So please, by all means, it is, we discuss in that book a trust account, a UTMA custodial brokerage account, and life insurance policy. If any of that seems foreign to you, where your children are involved or even yourself, you need to go read that book. It is available at Amazon. Just type in the, here it is. 3 Things Every Child Needs Before They Turn 1 by R.J. Cricket. Please come support your girl and get some education. It's the education that's most important. Supporting me is just a lovely byproduct. I appreciate it. All right. So I want to kind of do a PSA. We had to cancel our show on Wednesday. So let's just talk about it a little bit. This one is a bit personal. This week, Cincinnati experienced a severe weather event that left over 160,000 homes without power, and my household was among them. For several days, it was not just my home, it was my entire neighborhood. Libraries were closed, restaurants were dark, even Walmart shut its doors, after that storm. The infrastructure that most of us depend on without a second thought simply stopped. And what remained was just each other, and that was the truth. This moment did not happen in isolation. Across the last several years, Black communities from Houston to Jackson, to New Orleans, to the Gulf Coast, have faced hurricanes, ice storms, flooding, and infrastructure failures that exposed just how vulnerable our neighborhoods remain when systems go down. The pattern is clear. Disasters do not hit everyone equally, and recovery does not reach everyone equally. Black households consistently wait longer for power restoration, receive less emergency aid, and carry more of the financial burden when the lights go out and the food spoils. And that was a big one this week. So let this be a practical moment of love from BRW to you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about emergency preparedness for basics for Black households or for any household. Trust me, everything is relatable. Because we weren't ready. We weren't ready, and we suffered for it greatly, okay? So, a bullet point, build a go bag. Water, non-perishable food, medicines, copies of important documents, cash, and hand-cranked or solar-powered radios. We didn't have one in the house. We needed one. Because our phone charges went completely out. You want to stay connected to the world and in communication. So charge a portable battery bank and keep it topped off. Your phone is your lifeline. We just talked about that. Know your neighbors by name, which we do. Mutual aid starts on the block, and we did. We all took care of each other here. Identify your nearest cooling or warming center before you need it. I did not do that ahead of schedule. We were okay, but it's been a heat wave, and so I'm sure there were some people that were extremely uncomfortable over the last 4 or 5 days. Keep a 3 to 7 day supply of essentials on hand at all times, something I'll have to top up on. And check your elders first. They are the most vulnerable and the most overlooked, and I took care of that. So, okay. Anyway, what I did here for you today was I added resources. You can take them right off of the screen. I tried to make it so that the contrast was good enough for you to catch what I was saying. But those are resources that are available to you. I do understand that it wasn't just Cincinnati that was hit, but this is where I'm at, so I just want to throw a little love. Our whole show today is about Cincinnati. This is where I live. Black communities have always taken care of each other when systems failed us. Let's make that care intentional, prepared, and permanent. All right. Next section. Thank you guys for joining in. I see you jumping in. Okay. So a little bit of a story this week. I was really surprised, but here we go. I have to be honest with you. When the storm hit and the power went out, my first heartbreak was not the darkness or the heat. It was you. It was the show. It was knowing that Wednesday was coming, and I had made a commitment to this community, and I could not keep it the way that I had planned. So that sat heavy on my heart in a way that I didn't expect. And so I watched my phone get lower and lower, and I kept thinking they said it was going to be on by midnight. It took much longer, and I took the last 15% of my phone, and I hurried up and I made a little announcement on top of our logo, and I tried to let everybody on TikTok and YouTube know, hey, we're here, we're just not available. We're not set up to be mobile yet. As you can see, it's the same background every show. And so not only that, it wasn't a capability. I tried that. I was all over the place looking for a library that had power. So I just wanted to come and let you know that you have made quite the impact in my life, and I appreciate you coming back and spending time with us here. And I just wanted to let you know that I was impacted too by not having that time with you on Wednesday. It'll probably sit on my heart for a little while, but we just gonna keep moving because this is life and it's beautiful. And if there's not a little bit of flexibility, then how much fun are you really having, right? Okay. So we are back, we are whole, and I have never been more certain that this work matters. Thank you so much for being patient with me and for showing up to spend some time with us today. All right, so I am still going to do what it is that I do best, is to tell y'all about what the heck is going on out there, who's available to you to have some fun with. And we are doing a business today. And that back business spotlight is going to be Cincinnati. It comes up best if you put Cincinnati behind it. Otherwise, you do get some other things because they're not used to putting a word like that next to us. But Cincinnati, owned by Kendall and Jaleesa Ross, holds a distinction that belongs to no one else in the country. It is the nation's first Black-owned I'm not saying that correctly. It's Manga Cafe. I'm not going to try to say that again. Located in Cincinnati's vibrant over-the-Rhine neighborhood at 32 East 12th Street, Sensei blends handcrafted matcha, which is why I will be going down there, handcrafted matcha beverages with manga. I know I'm not saying that right, or at least it doesn't feel right. Okay. Music and community events in a space intentionally designed to feel safe, welcoming, and culturally rich. And let me just say that I found out that they do a movie night. I've been missing out, y'all. I didn't even know this existed. So they do movie nights, especially right now. It's the summertime. So I'll be checking them out. I will be running down there to get my matcha. Oh, yes. What Kendall and Jaleesa built here is bigger than the cafe. It is proof that Black creativity refuses to be boxed in, that Black entrepreneurs lead in spaces nobody told them to enter, and that community can be built one matcha at a time. See, we ain't doing without, just so y'all know, we ain't doing without. Sensei is exactly the kind of business the marketplace exists to celebrate. It is local. It is Black owned, it is genuinely one of a kind, and it is right here in Cincinnati, our city, our community, our people. Support them in person, support them online, and tell everybody that you know. 32 East 13th Street, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202, and their telephone number if you need it is 513-549-1750. Sensei.com is the name. All right. I have a segment for that. Here we go. I tried to do something about the volume this week too, so here we go. Okay, wait a minute. That's not right. Hold on. Stop. I don't know how that got in there. Okay. But I hope that the volume was okay. I did not realize until after someone else said, you need to go back and listen because you sound fine, but your videos are blasting. I was like, woo, even I was hurt my own ears. So I am going to try to be more mindful of that. I thought that it calibrated itself. I don't know why I assumed that. But anyway, it doesn't. So I hope that that was a little more comfortable. You're welcome to let me know. Welcome, Bold and Courageous 7. You're welcome to let me know if that sounded okay. So I'm going to throw in another little extra for you this week. This is not going to be a weekly segment. I'm going to throw it in here now and again. You're welcome to actually throw some at me, and I will highlight them here. But one of the things that I realize when it comes to Black Americans and the whole rest of the world, and I'm going to say especially the diaspora, I think that you guys forget that we are a mixed breed. And I don't mean mixed breed as in black and white. Yeah, that's there too. But what I mean is Black Americans are a mixed breed of all of the diaspora. Because when they snatched us from all these different places, let me just give you a little education. For those who already know, I apologize for having to repeat this. I know that some of us have been listening to the same facts about our own history for decades. And so for us, it's just, you're repeating yourself. But for those who don't know, when they brought us over here, even though they took us from different ports, they mixed us up on purpose. You understand that, right? You understand why we sounded like we did when we finally started to learn English, right? Because the first purpose was for them to separate us. So if you're from the Caribbean and you speak one language, and you're from Nigeria and you speak another language, then you can't communicate. And if you can't communicate, it's much harder to come up with an escape plan. And then on top of that, you're in a situation where you're now having to learn yet another language. So we did a lot of mixing of the languages that we came from with the English language, and then what you end up with is beautiful Ebonics. So I don't care what you say, we're wonderful. So we're, on one hand, a big mixture of all of these beautiful Black people throughout the diaspora. And then on top of that, we're American. And you can say what you want about that. Hispanics, white folks, whoever was here, there was a whole lot of messing around going on. So we are a beautifully distinct group of people. The newest, if you will. Maybe not the newest on earth, but certainly the newest Black ones, right? And we deserve to define ourselves, stake our claim, celebrate that, and meet you in the middle once everything gets put into place. Okay? So we're not eliminating love. We're not divisive. We are distinctive. Please understand that. Okay, so in that distinction, that was it was off the cuff. It was a pretty long intro. In that distinction, I accidentally created a new word phrase, and I would like to add it into our vocabulary. So I'm just throwing it out there. My show, my vocabulary, my Blackness. Okay, here we go. So the word phrase is individual whole. Individual whole. It is meant to be expressed as an entire statement. Let me explain. The word belongs to us, Black Americans. Let us claim it right now, live on this stream. Individual whole means I am complete within myself, and I recognize you as complete within yourself. And in that recognition, we become one. I see myself in you. I see you in me. And in that seeing, there is God. That's what it means. You're welcome to use it. It is a Black American saying that everyone is welcome to. And this is not a borrowed concept. This is an ancestral whisper that arrived this week and asked to be named. The African philosophy tradition gave the world Ubuntu. I am because we are. And that gift has fed generations. Individual whole walks that same sacred ground and adds something specific. The divine lives in the moment of true recognition. When you see another person fully, their wholeness, their struggle, their glory, and you say, I know you because I know myself, that is not just community, that is a spiritual act. This word carries echoes of Ubuntu. Yes, the ancestors were whispering through a tradition that was never lost, only scattered. And now we are gathering it back. Why Black Americans specifically? Well, because before we can truly join hands with the global diaspora, we have to know who we are when we arrive at the table. For centuries, the identity of Black Americans has been defined by others. Laws, narratives, by what was taken and what was never returned. The work of distinguishment is the work of saying, we know who we are. We have a name for what we believe. And we have language for how we see each other and the world. A people with their own lexicon, their own philosophy, their own named values. That people arrives at the diaspora table as equals, as contributors, as builders, with something specific and irreplaceable to offer. We do not join the diaspora by dissolving into it. We join it by bringing the fullness of who we are, our history, our survival, our genius, our wounds, and our joy. And saying, here is what Black America built. Now let us build together. Individual whole is one of the first words in that language. It is ours. Say it with someone today. All right. And that brings us to our Elders Corner. Bayard Rustin. I had not heard of this gentleman, and that was by design. He is the man behind the march. That's what he's known for. Bayard Rustin was one of the most brilliant strategic minds the civil rights movement ever produced. And for decades, the movement asked him to work from the shadows because of who he was. Born in 1912 in Westchester, Pennsylvania, Rustin was raised by Quaker grandparents whose commitment to non-violence shaped everything he would become. He introduced Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to the philosophy and the tactics of the Gandhian non-violent resistance. And that introduction changed the entire direction of the American Civil Rights Movement. He organized the 1963 March on Washington. He organized it. Wait a minute. Wait till you hear this. One of the largest and most I get so excited, consequential political demonstrations in American history. In less than 2 months, this man did this. No internet, no tiki-taki, no YouTube, barely any newspaper, because you know they were only putting it out on the black circuit. This man did this in less than 2 months. All right, go back and look at those pictures of what that looked like if you've never really thought about it before, right? Okay, the logistics, thank you, the permits, the speakers, the sound system, the buses from every corner of the country. Bayard Rustin built that. He built it almost entirely behind the scenes because movement leaders, bowing to political pressure, kept his name off the program due to his identity as a gay man. We're not doing that anymore. We put our dirt out front. We accept everybody here, from the rooter to the tutor. All right. History has slowly begun. Thank you. I see you jumping in, Queen Chanel. Thank you. History has slowly begun to return Bayard Rustin to his rightful place. President Barack Obama awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2013, and the He's got a movie on Netflix, y'all, bearing his name, introduced him to a new generation hungry for the full truth of who built this movement. And I think it's especially important for all of our community. I'm not always clear on the number of letters. I know that they all designate a particular lifestyle or what I love y'all all. I come as you are. I don't care. I love you. Okay. So, Rustin's life carries a layered lesson for every builder in this community. That excellence does not require recognition to be real. That movements are built by people whose names do not always make the headlines. And that showing up fully, even when the world demands you make something smaller of yourself, is its own form of resistance. BRW honors Bayard Rustin today, not just for what he built, but for how he loved, completely, unapologetically, and on his terms. We love you, baby. All right. Now, I got to do another little plug-in, because this is what it's all about. What BRW needs to grow. So Black Renaissance Worldwide is building the global infrastructure for Black economic self-determination, and that infrastructure needs builders. We need some help. Right now, BRW actively seeks platform developers and web engineers ready to build tools that serve millions, attorneys with expertise in nonprofit law, intellectual property, and business formation, content creators and videographers who want their work to mean something, Black-owned businesses ready to list in BRW's directory and marketplace, and community organizers who can carry the BRW mission into their cities and networks. If you carry a skill, a license, a camera, or a vision, BRW has a place for you. This movement grows one committed person at a time. So please step forward. Happy to have you. All right, so we're going to make a couple of more pit stops and then we'll be closing everything out. Our next section is our diaspora pit stop of the week. And I'm kind of excited about this one, guys. It's Twiga Foods in Kenya. So Twiga Foods is a Nairobi, have to practice that, Nairobi-based agri-tech company transforming how food moves farm to market across East Africa. Founded in 2014, Twiga built a mobile-based supply chain platform that connects smallholder farmers directly to urban vendors, cutting out the exploitative middlemen that kept African farmers poor for generations. Equivalent to sharecropping here. All right. Through technology, logistics, and a deep commitment to economic dignity, Twiga has produced millions of transactions and delivered fresh produce to thousands of vendors across Kenya, making healthy food more accessible and making farmers more prosperous at the same time. Hallelujah. Twiga Foods represents exactly what BRW believes about the diaspora, that Black innovation does not wait for permission, and that the solutions to Black economic vulnerability already exist within Black communities worldwide. When we talk about owning the supply chain from the factory floor to the front door, that's the aim, y'all. Twiga is doing that work in real time on African soil with African hands. Watch them, study them, and know that the infrastructure we are building here has cousins all over the globe. So exciting for you. I wish I was in their neighborhood. I want to see their truck come outside my door. Anyway, our last segment for today before we close up is our community hub, and we are going to honor Mad Fathers. Oh, speaking of which, let me back up just a little bit. I actually have a segment for you, for Mr. Rustin. Hold on. Let's show this baby some love. Okay, hold on. All right, I had to make sure it wasn't going to run away from me sometimes. I know it'll get better and better, but at least I'll do this. You know what I mean? I'm so excited. Every week I learn something new. Every time I put my show together, I learn something new. So here we go.
The March on Washington, a breakthrough achievement in the fight for civil rights in America. Yet why was one of the event's architects forced to work in the shadows?
Can you hear it at all?
Bayard Rustin was one of Martin Luther King's key advisors,
Can you hear it,
introducing
guys?
Gandhi's practices of nonviolence into the
So
campaign.
happy to have you here.
As a gay man, Rustin often became a target for those looking to discredit the civil rights movement, and he was kept out of the spotlight by leaders. But his talents were undeniable, and Rustin was chosen to orchestrate the March on Washington. While Rustin organized, Senator Strom Thurmond labeled him a communist, draft dodger, and homosexual. Dr. King came to his public defense, and in just 8 weeks, Rustin was able to help bring 250,000 people to the National Mall. Despite the challenges Bayard Rustin faced inside and outside the civil rights movement, he was able to change history.
Oh, I thought you'd enjoy that. I hope you could hear it. I didn't hear a thing, so I'm working on volume, you guys. Be patient with me. Okay. Okay, so that brings us to our last segment of the show today, which is our community hub. And I got started a little bit. It was a little ahead of myself, and it's called, did I do? Wait a minute. You know what? I did miss something. Let's back up. I've also got this one for you, and we're going to go ahead and watch it now so that when we go through our last piece, we can just do the closing as well. This is still a little scattered this morning, even though I've been up since 5, so.
I'll never look at fruit stalls the same way after hearing about... I'll never look at fruit stalls the same way after hearing about Twigger food. Imagine getting your veggies quicker than a text. This is what the future of food looks like in Africa. Twigger Foods is totally shaking up Kenya's grocery scene. Big time. Instead of farmers struggling to sell what they grow and vendors stuck with old overpriced stuff, Twigger's app connects them straight away. With just a couple of taps, vendors can order fresh produce right from local farmers, and Twigger's team zips it across the city in just a few hours. No more middlemen, no more waiting, and definitely no more stale tomatoes. Over 17,000 vendors count on Twigger every month. That's a ton of happy customers, and even happier farmers. And Twigger's not stopping at Nairobi. They're growing across borders, changing Africa's supply chain, one mango at a time. So would you give Twigger a try? Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit like and subscribe.
So that was awesome. Okay, so the community hub this week is Mad Fathers in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I really went out of my way to try to find this. I actually was running a little late for the show today because I was digging for pictures or videos, and I kept seeing Mad Dads. I don't know. I didn't have enough time to figure out if they were equivalent. So let's just go ahead and honor them right here, right now together. Mad Fathers, Making a Difference, is a Cincinnati-based organization built on a simple and revolutionary premise that Black fathers are present, powerful, and essential to the health of their families and communities. Mad Fathers creates programming, supports networks, and community events that celebrate and strengthen Black fathers, pushing back against decades of narratives designed to make Black men feel like footnotes in their own children's stories. Their work happens on the ground in Cincinnati neighborhoods in real time, and it carries the kind of weight that only comes from people who are genuinely invested in the community they serve. In a week where Cincinnati showed us both its vulnerability and its resilience, Mad Fathers stands as a reminder that the strongest infrastructure in any Black community has always been its people. Fathers who show up, men who lead with love, communities that refuse to let the next generation navigate this world alone. BRW sees you, Mad Fathers, and we are proud to put your name in the village square today. And that brings us to our end of the show. So let's now close with intention as we opened with intention. What we have shared here has entered the record. Not merely digital, but neural, social, and ancestral. The connections made, the knowledge transferred, the capital circulated. These are not ethereal. They are structural, We release this session with the gratitude for the attention, the labor, and the trust invested by everyone present. Thank you so much. We carry forward the understanding that our individual thriving is bound to collective thriving, biologically, economically, and spiritually. We affirm that the world we are building is one where dignity is non-negotiable, where resources flow equitably, and where every voice that was suppressed finds amplification. This is not the end. This is the node. This is a node in a network that continues. So go build, go connect, go belong. We return when the coordinates align. Thank you for being here. Builders, before you go, here is how we stay connected to everything BRW is building. Follow on TikTok, please, and thank you. Subscribe on the U of the tube. Our counts are going up. Look, we're at 90. We started at 80. Hey. But over on the U of the tube, we got to get a lot further along. But I have noticed that you guys have been jumping over and subscribing, and I really appreciate that. What we do here on TikTok Live, we go ahead and repost on the U of the tube over there. So if you missed something, you're always welcome to go over there and catch up. I even make playlists for it. Our home base is at BlackRenWorld.co. That's where the directory is going to sit for the time being, because we're gathering the email addresses so that when we build the website, we can send you a blast like, hey, come on over, we're up and running. Please feel free to join our email list at BlackRenaissanceWorld.com, BlackRenaissanceWorldwide@gmail.com. If you are signing up for the email address, by all means, please, and thank you, put in the subject line, I'm in. I'll know to just automatically get you onto that list. Don't forget, we run our show live 3 days a week. Wednesdays, we have The Forge at 10 a.m. Saturdays, it is The Marketplace at 10:30. And Sundays is our Woosah at 11 o'clock, The Sanctuary. And one more reminder before you go, don't forget to pick up your copy of 3 Things Every Child Needs Before They Turn 1 by R.J. Cricket. Gives those Black families and any family that needs it the financial tools that build generational wealth before a child speaks their first words. Find it on Amazon Kindle today and put your child's name on something permanent and protective. BRW is being built live. From boycott to buyout to build worldwide. Again, I am Rochelle. And remember, please remember, leave the world better than it was when you woke up. You'll only thank yourself for it. And we'll see you again here tomorrow, Sunday, August 16th, for the Sanctuary at 11 a.m. Thank you so very much for spending your time with me this morning. Love y'all.